everyone. I'm Mohammed, the tutor coordinator with Paper Airplane, and I'll be hosting today's episode. In today's episode, we are going to have a small talk with university and high school club tutors with Paper Airplanes in the English program. But before we start introducing our valuable tutors, please don't forget to subscribe and hit the bell button so you can receive our latest news and videos. And also, with your help, Paper Airplane would be able to help and reach out more conflict affected individuals and refugees. So, back to you guys. Hello, everyone. You can start by introducing yourself.
Okay, hi, I'm Elizabeth. I'm currently the president of my high school's Paper Airplanes Club. And we're from the Bay Area in California in the United States. And I'm currently a junior and I joined Paper Airplanes my freshman year of high school. So I've been a part of the club for about 3 years now.
Mm-hmm. Thank you, Elizabeth.
Hi, I'm Sanya, and I am currently located in Philadelphia. I'm a student at University of Pennsylvania, and I got involved with Paper Airplanes the beginning of my sophomore year, and I learned about and basically through a club at my university called Penn Refugee Empowerment, and yeah.
Well, thank you for introducing yourself and thank you for being here. So, we will start with a couple of questions and like its most common question that people want to ask. So, the first question would be, how did you hear about Paper Airplane and what made you join?
Okay, I can answer this one first. So at the beginning of every school year in my high school, we have this thing called like a club info day. So that's when all of the clubs have like a little booth during lunch, and students can like walk around and see, what organizations they want to join. And when I was a little freshman and I saw like Paper Airplanes, I was a little confused. I didn't know like the purpose of the club was like to help conflict affected refugees and tutor English and fundraise and things like that. I just saw like the name Paper Airplanes and it stood out to me, so I went over to talk, and the president at the time gave me like a little rundown of what the club was about, and I found it to be like super amazing how a person like me could directly help a conflict affected individual. So it was like that kind of format of being able to directly help someone and using like my English skills to teach someone English that really like attracted me to the club.
Okay, great. So, yeah, so you found out about Paper Airplanes through your club. Yes. Okay.
Yeah.
And to you, Sanya.
Yes, sorry. I found out about Paper Airplanes also through a club at my university, which I mentioned before, Penn for Refugee Empowerment. And I decided to join this club because I wanted to get involved in a way to help refugees, because I've done a lot of research and study in university about issues with refugees in Yemen and Syria and in other places of the Middle East. So it was nice seeing a way I could actually, apply this to some sort of social participation. So yeah, I decided to join, and I have some experience advising high school students in college, so I thought this would be a new way of advising for English. And I also study Arabic, so and with the student I studied, that was very valuable because I don't think we could have communicated as well. But yeah.
Yeah, that's great. Yeah, like a tutor that speak Arabic is more than great to help other students. So, by the way, thank you for volunteering with Paper Airplanes. So, to be clear, without the tutors and mentors, Paper Airplane wouldn't have reached out to this level by have a positive impact towards all of these refugees and conflict affected individuals. So, thank you for your great job. So, for the second question, how much of a difference do you feel working with PA has made into your personal, professional life and your student life?
answer this one first?
Yeah, you can go ahead.
Oh yeah.
Okay, sure. So I think like the main thing that made tutoring as with paper airplanes a unique experience was that it was like so rewarding because I could see the progress of my student and see how he became more fluent in English. And for me, I tutored the same student for 2 years in a row, so we kind of like fostered a connection, and I tutored him for like all 3 semesters. It was like fall, spring, and summer. So I was actually like the amount of time I spent with him, I could really see like both our hard efforts paying off, and that was really rewarding. And then as for like professional life, I would just say it opened up a lot of new opportunities. I've been able to like not only tutor um, the students, but also help other students at my school with their tutoring. So I did like a couple of tutor workshops to help them like manage different problems that they might come across when tutoring. And also, it's opened up new opportunities. Like I just had someone reach out, someone like who's working on a campaign, who's running for like mayor of my city, and they wanted to like do a guest speaker event for our club. So that's just like a really cool opportunity that I would have never had if I didn't join paper airplanes. And then as for the life of my students, I definitely think like my tutoring sessions with him, like they were like a lot of fun. So they were not only like academic, but as Sanya, as you already also said, like very social. And I think like because I don't know Arabic, right? So him being forced to communicate with me in English, I think like really helped him to improve and challenge himself. So even though like if he like made a lot of mistakes when speaking, or like his English wasn't perfect, it just like kind of forced him to take risks and go out of his comfort zone, which definitely helped his fluency in the language.
Well, I'm so impressed that volunteering with paper airplanes open another chances for you, and also you get to know other cultures, which is sounds great. And yeah, that's great that you have fostered your relationship with the student. It's also for like as a native speaker, since you are a native speaker and don't know how to speak Arabic, it will actually help the student in a way or another to improve his listening and speaking in English because he is somehow have to deal with that. So yeah, and Sanya.
Yeah, very similar. Also, I PA also has made me foster a personal connection with my student, and I've also gotten to know his family because he has two little daughters and a wife who all still live in Syria. So it's kind of been just very interesting and impactful to learn about his life there and how he and just like about his family's culture. And we're also both university students, so I think that's also something that has helped foster a connection. In terms of professional life, I think this also has helped me a lot more than I could have imagined. As I said, I study Arabic and I also study economics and Middle Eastern studies in university. And as I'm applying to like internships and trying to find new opportunities for research and working with other organizations, I think something really valuable is to be working with a nonprofit that helps like people afflicted in these regions directly. And a lot of these kind of organizations are kind of looking for those opportunities that their applicants have had. And yeah, and I think also another thing, like it has like helped improve like my Arabic and learn some Amiya from obviously I'm learning Fasha in university, so I get to expand my own kind of ways in learning of Arabic.
Wow, that's great. You get to learn different delicates of Arabic, which is um, glad to hear that it helped you. Yeah, well, like I'm very excited to continue the questions because the first couple of questions were so impressive. I'm so impressed with the answers, really. So for the next question, it's up to you if you're comfortable to share a success story or a good memory with your student. Then please go ahead. So
Okay, I can
yeah,
go. So
okay,
I as I mentioned before, like I tutored my student over the summer, and we had like a interesting situation with like his English level because at first I think he was in the upper intermediate, and then it was like a little too difficult, so then we moved to the lower intermediate, but then he still needed like a little bit of a challenge in the lower intermediate. So I think during the summer, um, I would create like these little units of like I'm not sure like what the exact phrase is, like conversation packs on like how to converse with English speakers about like everyday topics. I think we talked about like ordering at a restaurant or like planning a vacation, little things like that, to kind of show him how he could apply his English skills into everyday life. So I thought that was really interesting, and also it was like something a little different from like the passages or like the listening segments that were a part of the paper airplanes curriculum already. And also it just helped with like general fluency, and it allowed us to like converse more easily about like things not exactly related to the classes, like how was your day, or like any hobbies you have. So those kind of like general conversational skills were really fun to master.
Wow. So you're in a way or another, you develop the curriculum using different method to, let's say, help your student to learn more about the daily life English. And so your student will be able to answer different topics in English, which is like great. And yeah, Sanya.
I also have a similar kind of beginning with my student as he was placed in a lower intermediate, but that obviously was not the right level since we moved down to beginner basically. So it started off, I couldn't actually communicate with him in English, which was difficult. He really only knew like hello, hi, how are you? Like to actually speak. Maybe he could have like listened and understood more. But then, so now I guess it's been about 1.5 semesters. We've been with a PA, and I mean, he's thankfully like now we can have basic conversation with some questions, and he's starting to understand the grammar and verbs and nouns and all of that stuff and how they differ from Arabic. So it's really it's very I bet like grateful for him and for me to see this kind of progress over time.
Wow. So you've like you tried, or let's say you've seen what your impact has done toward your student, which is speaking and listening, and of course writing in English, which is like I don't know if I were you, I would be like so happy because you did well. Yeah. Well, okay. So the next couple questions will be related to university club and high school clubs. So we want in a somehow to like show the audience what are those and what means to be in a club. So for the first question, what is the advantage? What is the advantage of joining PA club while you can like join a paper airplanes as an independent tutor? Mm-hmm.
I don't well I am joined independently currently.
Mm-hmm. But when you were with the club, did you find any differentiation between those?
Okay, yeah. So when I was joined through the club, I had a tutor coordinator that was from UPenn,
Mm-hmm.
and so communication wise, there, I guess it was nice to have a community of Penn students and be contacted with them who were involved with paper airplanes. So that was nice to have a community while there was affiliation.
Mm-hmm. And that's great. So, like, when you were with the club, like, if you have a community that are similar to tutors helping conflict-affected individuals, so you can like share your experience with them, which is considered as an advantage. Like if you had any obstacles in the way of teaching someone online, I guess the club would be a better idea. And also coordinator which will help you a lot in like the organization between the NGO and you, paper airplanes here. Okay, so Elizabeth.
Yeah, so our club is a chapter of Paper Airplanes. Um, when I first joined, the tutor coordinator was a member of our club, and he was like really experienced, so I felt really comfortable like going to him for any questions. And I feel like just like the proximity of having like a club member that I was also who I also sat in meetings every week, just being able to communicate with him, I felt like it was easier than trying to communicate with like someone from the international organization. And then my sophomore year, I became the tutor coordinator, so I kind of like helped to organize like the tutors and matching with their students and things like that. So I think it's just really helpful to have like a community of tutors who are like doing similar things to you, because you not only can ask the tutor coordinator questions, but you can also ask like your fellow tutors questions for advice, for more like material if you need it. So yeah, it's just like it's really easy to have like anyone to go to if you have any questions.
Mhm. So we all agree about like the clubs would provide you with a good amount of shared experience between your colleagues, and also about the coordinator. That would be also another thing that, which is an added value to the joining club instead of joining as an independent tutor. Okay, so yeah, moving to the next question. So could you tell us a little bit more about what kind of activities your club is holding, or how does your club operate?
Yeah, so for us, I think this year the structure of Paper Airplanes has become a little bit different. So instead of like each school having their own tutor coordinator from the school, the tutor coordinator is like now from the organization itself. So this year we've been focusing like a lot more on fundraising, and we've been going to like certain events hosted by our schools, and then fundraising for Paper Airplanes. I think in November we had like craft fairs, and then we handcrafted like jewelry and things like that. And I think our profit was around like almost $300. So that was like really cool. And then we also like sold boba recently, and then we were able to make like almost $100 off of that. So just like little fundraisers like that, I feel like it brings everyone together for a good cause, and then also um, it teaches you like other skills too, like business and organization and everything. So it just kind of like encompasses a lot of important skills. And then for us, during our like bi-weekly member meetings, we usually talk about um, current events. So I think we recently talked about like the Ukraine war, refugees coming out of there, in addition to the crises in the Middle East.
Wow. So you learned about global dilemmas, let's say, and also um, you learned not only volunteering with paper airplanes, but also as a donator. You can consider yourself as a fundraiser and a donator, because you um, like help paper airplane community with reaching out to more students. So, and Sanya, yeah.
So, I'm not I don't run the club that was connected to paper airplanes at my university, but I am part of it, which is called, as I said, Pen for Refugee Empowerment. Um, the club, while it was usually tries to engage in like activities, basically empowering refugees either within the Philadelphia area or internationally, as with the Paper Airplanes organization. So there is a current program I am aware of that involves, you know, African immigrants and refugees in high schools in the Philadelphia area, because Philadelphia does receive a lot of refugees, like from Afghanistan, from Africa, and now I'm assuming probably from Ukraine in the coming months. And so the organization is for sure active in trying to find ways in which Penn students can help, specifically high school students, with their own like academics and college preparation. But yeah.
Yeah, well, that is great. Actually, both of you guys are active from the humanitarian side, which is like, I guess it's kind of wonderful to. It's like it's somehow you feel happy for helping others. You feel like you are relieved and you're doing what you have to do toward your community and toward the globe, let's say. So, yeah, guys. So, moving to the next questions. How have you integrated your club into your school's environment? So, how like you mix between those and yeah.
For us, right now our club is quite small, so I think at the beginning of the year we worked a lot on outreach. During that club info day that I mentioned previously, and then I think for outreach efforts throughout the year, like after the initial club info day, we've just been trying to have our clubs be present at school events, like the club food day. I think when we were selling boba, we also got like stickers with the name of the club, the cause, and how you could join, just to like promote it a little bit more, to open the opportunity to like as many people as possible. Um, and yeah, that's what we've been doing.
Yeah, cool. And yeah, what about you, Sonia?
Yeah, so I'm not involved with club outreach for Penn Refugee Empowerment, but I for sure have talked about paper airplanes with family and friends, um, and have um, it on my, I mean, LinkedIn profile, so people who I am connected with would also know that I am involved with this organization.
Mhm.
So I do try to spread it in the little ways I do, and if I do end up becoming more involved with my university club, I for sure would, advocate to reestablish relations with paper airplanes. And yeah, I mean, personally though, like in terms of like just the mission of paper airplanes in helping refugees. I for sure am involved with like research opportunities and like take classes here and attend events regarding like global migration and conflict, specifically in the Middle East. So yeah.
Well, good to know that you are like somehow publishing the volunteer with paper airplanes to make others join and like they give more attention toward the like global issues, which is like refugees and conflict affected individuals, not only yeah in the Middle East, especially in the Afghanistan and other regions, which is like and also Ukraine, which is considered like very important right now at this moment. So yeah, thank you for doing that. So for our, I guess it is our last questions. Where do you see your club is going from your perspective of, or your point of view?
For my high school club, right, our goals for next year will probably just be outreach to get more tutors joining. I think the student shortage in paper airplanes this year has made it a little bit difficult to keep our tutoring numbers as high as they were last year. I think last year we had like a little more than 20, which was a lot of work to manage, but it was really rewarding. So we definitely want to get more tutors, and then also more speaker events. With people who have like experience in like the sectors of like why like honestly it can be like a lot of different things like international relations or like refugee help or um like I don't know like political crises or like immigrant help like anything we're gonna try to get like more experts to open the conversation and talk to our members so that they can like learn beyond um, what like us as high school students have to offer.
Yeah, so developing. Okay, so bringing more tutors. I guess it will be like I guess tutors are essential for the English program. As I said before, without you guys, we won't be able to reach out this level. So thank you. And yeah,
Yeah, I for sure agree with outreach in terms of like getting more tutors at Penn. I do have to say I'm surprised for a high school that you guys have 20 students, because I know at Penn, even we struggle, especially with these kind of humanitarian clubs, don't actually get a lot of popularity at
Yeah.
universities like these in America. So it's really great to hear that a high school has that much support, because we usually, I think, averaged about 5, 6 tutors for paper airplanes from UPenn. So I really wish there was more people that were aware and wanting to get involved, which I hope I can, find a way through like a leadership opportunity to spread that kind of awareness. Yeah.
Well,
Yeah.
thank you. Yeah.
Oh
I
yeah,
was
what were
just,
you gonna say?
I was just gonna say like yeah, this year our numbers like have like dwindled to less than 10. It was just last
Yeah.
year. Maybe it was like the pandemic and something like overdue by more time. I don't know what it was, but
Oh
yeah.
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 That's still great though.
Yeah. Actually, well, acting like that would help a lot to when increasing tutors, you will increase the number of the benefited students, benefited even like not only in the English program, the other programs that Paper Airplane provide. So yeah, things like that would help us a lot. Thank you, and I wish you all the best. And this would be the last question. So we're done. Thank you guys, and thank you for your time. Thank you for being here. Really appreciate it. So, as I said, don't forget to subscribe and hit the bell button so you can see our latest videos and news. And if you are interested in the English program, the links in the description below. If you want to volunteer the paper airplanes and to have an opportunity to be a positive impactor toward the conflict affected individuals and refugees. And if you don't have time to volunteer with paper airplanes and you want to help, the links for donating is in the description below. Thank you, Sanya, and thank you, Elizabeth.